Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Gems of War. And today we're going to be going over the All-Seeing Eye faction event teams, guide, strategy, whatever. High, mid, and low, that's what HML is. If you didn't know that, I'm sure you guys are super smart. You knew what I meant there. Just like the no. What's the no? No mythic, no legendary, no Dawnbringer, no weapon, crazy weapon. That's what no was. I don't know why I haven't been doing it lately, but now it's HML. So, it's HML now. We changed stuff. Getting the stream set up here. But other than that, we will also be doing the uNDERSPIRE for Darkstone. HML. Just the same. But let me put in this chapter intro so you can skip this part if you're watching after. Just go to the second chapter if you want to skip all this nonsense of me setting up the stream. Do appreciate you watching after the fact, though. I don't think enough people say that when they're doing a live stream. They don't thank the people that watch after the fact. Thank you. The lurkers, thank you. We got Sauna, Livewire, Mark, Rich, Supernova. How's it going? Alright, let's get started here. Let me jump into the chat. Trying to do this fast as I can. Oh yeah, and there was a PvP like mini update. It happened like a couple days ago, I think, but it just downloaded it for me, but it was showing up yesterday and the day before. I don't know what the update quote unquote did, but you know, now you're actually seeing people's offensive teams. Before it was just random troops in there and you could easily just blow through them with the Stellarics or something, or Teslas or whatever you were doing, and you could just go around to anyone you wanted pretty much, except for maybe unrestricted, and just the enemy team was just a weird combination of troops from the restriction. Well, now it is literally other people's offensive teams. So you're going to have it's going to be more difficult. That's why I put that in the title. PvP is hard now. There was a little tiny mini update. They were just fixing. They didn't add anything really. They just kind of fixed what they already added. So it's not like new, but it's fixed. We'll talk about that a little bit later, I think. Like what you're going to do now, what's your strategy going to be, what's it going to look like how, if I'm going to change anything I'm doing, etc. We kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday, but not too much. I didn't know 100%. All right, we got Sauna, Livewire, Mark, Rich, Supernova, Florian, Masked, Bishop. Yeah. How's it going? Celebrate good times, oh yeah. HML, hello. Mark says, here you are. Rich says, hey. Supernova, hello. Rich is early. Florian, hello. Masked Bishop, hey. What's going on, everybody? No problem, Sana. I told everybody to get off the ghost train and get on the real train. The reminder is the ghost train. It disappears into the night. Just a reminder to give you a countdown to show you that I will be streaming at some point, and you can keep track of it and, you know, tell when I'm about to go live if I change the time or whatever. Sometimes things happen and you gotta push it back a little bit. But yeah. Couple more clicks and I'm ready. Let's actually go to the... I'm dropping stuff. Games menu here. We got All-Seeing Eye. That'll be what we do first. And then we'll go to the uNDERSPIRE second. And then we'll do PvP third. So I'll put in chapters if you don't want to... If you want to skip to one or the other. If you don't really care about the All-Seeing Eye, you already did it this morning, then skip to the uNDERSPIRE. If you don't care about the uNDERSPIRE, you already did it yesterday, then skip to the PvP. If you want to hear all the rants in all their glory, you're going to have to watch the whole stream, because I don't do timestamps and chapters for rants, and they just pop up randomly, so that's just, you know, you got to watch the whole thing, sorry. Sauna with the gifted, thank you so much, running out there. Cape of flowing, sorta shining. Yeah, PvP's harder now. It was already, like, hard in its own way, and, like, you're trying to get the leaderboard if you're doing that. Like, people were going crazy and getting a million VP, and it was already, like, hard in its own way. But now it's going to be even harder, which may make it easier, kind of weird, because less people are going to want to, like, do it now. So you might have an easier time of getting leaderboards, but you'll have a harder time in the process of getting that leaderboard. You know what I mean? Chocolate Gaming? I'm sorry, I screwed up your name there. Choco, I'm sorry, whatever that is. I'll call you Choco. Choco says, hi, is this new PvP going to stay like this? I mean, that we play versus hero class, or it's only temporary? I think it's for, the, you know, it's forever. It's not temporary. I think this was the way that they wanted it to be from the beginning, but they couldn't do it immediately because they didn't have everybody's teams in there. They had to, you know, let it settle down. You know what I mean? Like, they had to let it settle in, and they had to, you know, make sure everything was working right and all that stuff. And now it's like the way they want it. And it's going to stay like this going forward. They're going to add more stuff like alliances and all that, but like the way that that specific portion of PvP is working right now is probably how it's going to stay. You know, they might make a couple tweaks. I can't say it's going to be 100% exactly the same, but you know, it's not going to go back. It's not going to go back to the way it was unless something catastrophic happens and it breaks or something. Like, pretty sure it's going to stay the same. But good question. I love it. I like any questions. You could think that your question is not... Yeah, you might be helping somebody out there. I always say that. I can never tell what you guys are thinking, so you gotta ask the questions. Alright, it's a Tuesday faction event. You're gonna go all in, or you're not gonna... Or you're gonna do the bare minimum. That's... You know, get all rewards, right? You should get all rewards. They're presenting you an event. You should get all rewards. But, you can do it for free a lot of the time. So you should sit here and try to do it for free. So that's what I mean by either going all in or doing the bare minimum. You don't like half do it. You don't halfway, like, I'm not going to buy up to tier 3 in the shop and then, you know, overbuy and get all rewards but not go to 500. Like, that's half-assing it. You want to either, like, save your gems and do the bare minimum, you know, try to get all rewards for free. Maybe you spend 30 gems to finish off that last reward. That's fine. That's still bare minimum. Or you go all in and you go to 500, which I don't recommend. But it's better than doing it like a half-ass kind of way. So either all in or all out is what I say about a lot of things in this game. So for me, I'm not buying in the shop at all. You know, if you don't have this weapon, you might want to do it because Jar of Eyes is good. Yeah, so you might want to buy up into it because if you don't have Jar of Eyes, it'd be nice to have it, and then you might want to go as far as you can. But if you already have Jar of Eyes, because All-Seeing Eye was one of the first factions in the game. I better put a timestamp, huh? All-Seeing Eye start. I'll put 7 minutes. Guessing. Guess who? It's got a mustache. He's bald with a mustache with suspenders on. Guess who? Alright, but yeah, either go all in or don't. Don't go halfway. You're wasting gems if you go halfway. You know, you should have horde level potions and everything. You should be fine to do it for free. If you don't have the weapon, go all in. If you do have the weapon, try to do it for free. That's what I say. So I'm going to try to do it for free because I already have the weapon. Oh, this team. Farewell. I'm so sorry. Look how long it's been since we've done All-Seeing Eye. We're using Huntmaster Arboreus. I'm sorry, sir. Kung Fu Panda, guess what? The kids went and saw that. There's like a new Kung Fu Panda movie out, and they went and saw it the other day. And it's funny you say that. Is Beg for Mercy here? What up, Beg for Mercy? Good to see you, man. How much does the human brain weigh? I don't know. That's a good question, though. I'm glad you asked. Glad you asked. Rich hates PvP. Do karate on the like button. Yeah, finger the thumb. I'd appreciate it. It brings more people in here. You don't even know how much it helps to hit that like button. You Tesla your way through. That's good. I like it. You're bald with a mustache, Rich? You must be sexy. Alright, let's go. We gotta get rid of this whole team because it's no longer viable. And do you guys want to see, like, off-the-wall teams, or do you want to see just the meta, like, hurry up and let's just get it over with teams? You're here, you're in the chat, so you get to decide. You want me to try to build some... Like, we can do topical teams, like what's in the Soul Forge, or, like, what's, like, a Darkstone team or something. Like, if that's what I try to do with the faction, is, like, maybe show at least one topical team for people that are getting a new troop this week or something. But, we can either do, like, hey, let's just blow through it with the fastest teams we can, which I know a lot of people want to see, or we can try to build, like, off-the-wall teams that you haven't seen before, or don't see very often. Like, you know, Tesla comes to mind already. We got blue and we got green. That's Tesla right there. She's red and blue, and you got Holy Saint Astra, who is yellow and green. So you could do a Tesla. And then, you know, Diamantina or Stellarix is probably going to be... Diamantina or Stellarix high level. Tesla mid level. Low level, you got Rowan. You know, I could show you those three if you want. or we can try to do some off-the-wall teams. It's up to you. I just told you 3 meta teams. That's probably the meta right there. Stellarix if you're high level, Tesla if you don't have that, and if you don't have either one of those, you're doing Rowan. We're done. We're done with All-Seeing Eye. Yay, we're done already. You can do Talk Shaka. Oh, yeah. So that's what you do. You want to just blow through it and get on to the Underspire? Like, that's the good thing about just blowing through it. We get through the we can go do something else. Maybe you already have All-Seeing Eye done. So yeah, if you're gonna do the fastest team possible, you would do Stellarix and Talk Shaka. And I know you keep seeing this team everywhere you go. Right? The banner doesn't really matter, the class doesn't really matter. Plug it in, bang, you go. If you don't have this, I'll show you a team for mid-level. It's gonna be probably Tesla. But let's put in a timestamp high level. I'll probably use the mid-level team because I'm still leveling classes. So even I am not going to use the Stellarix team, but a lot of people will. A lot of people will because they just want to get it over with. There's too much to do in the game. Okay, we'll say 12 minutes. Alright, let's just go. I think I'm just going to do the, hey, let's get it done as quick as possible stuff. Keeps not getting up for me. I mean, it still counts as long as you get an extra turn here, but we didn't. There we go. Fastest team in the game right here. Other than maybe Ironhawk, but Ironhawk you have to take somewhere super weak. This team you can take wherever you want, as long as it fits the restriction. That's why I call it the Takhaka. PvP blows chunks. It blows chunks and it comes out your nose. 125. Why did he say that? That's gross. I'm eating lunch right now, Sinnycool. Mark says, what's the biggest gem drop you can get from a vault key, not an epic vault key? I think 300? 360? Something like that? Maybe 360 is the max you can get total. 360 jumps into my mind for some reason, right? But it might be 300. It's somewhere between 300 and 360. Because the other little gnomes can also give you gems. And I can't remember the exact amount. Somewhere between 300 and 360, though. It's not 400, and it's not 200. It's somewhere in the 300s. 320? That might be right. I know it's somewhere in there. Which is really good, man. If you get that drop, like, you should be excited, because it's a good drop. It's like what you're looking for. It's what you're hoping for. If you get that gem drop, you know, epic vault keys don't come... You get only like 10% epics. So to get a 900 gem drop is pretty tough. Because you're only dealing with like, what, 50 epic vault keys, maybe 30, 40, 20. And then it's a super low rare, it's like a super rare drop. So you're hoping like maybe you get it one time out of all your epics. Get that 900 or something, if you're lucky. It's like the best drop in the entire game, if you get that 900. On an epic. So if you get the 300 on a regular, and you have so many more regulars, like, it's nice, because you might be able to get like 3 of them. It's similar. Supernova says, my raid team is the raid weapon, corrupted troll, and ×2 raid captain with plague lord class. Got 50k boss damage without breaking a sweat. Why do you use 2 captains? Do you gotta like 2-shot the boss? I normally only use 1 captain for raids, and I use like 3 for invasion. Did it get like super hard, and now you gotta shoot it off twice or something? I could see that happening like towards the end. Just wondering. Rich says, yesterday I was using Thrall, Nebulardarix, the new champion cleaver, and anointed champion with Archmagus class. Yeah, me too, Rich. I think we did, like, pretty similar teams. Great minds think alike. Right, Sana? So it can add up to a little bit over 300. That's what I was thinking, I guess. It's hard to get all of them to drop gems, though. It's almost more rare than getting a 900 gem drop to have every single gnome drop gems. I've had 3 out of 4 drop them, though. Mark says, I crafted my solar winds off of getting gems from an epic vault key. Nice. You're on your way. You're super close. It's just a matter of time for Mark. Then he gets Stellarix. That's a celebrate good times, oh yeah. You get Stellarix, or you get Zul'Goth, or you get like a Horde Mimic Mythic, those are some of the best feelings in the game. Especially if you don't have Diamantina, and you get, like, when you get one or the other. If you already have Diamantina, Stellarix is just a minor improvement. It's definitely better, but, like, I already had Diamantina, so this is just a slight step up for me. So Diamantina was exciting, because it took forever, too. It took so many eggs. But, you know, some of the best feelings in the game are going to be Zul'Goth, you know, maybe Dawnbringer, like, super early, if you get it super early. Back in the day, Dawnbringer was, like, the best thing. But now it's, like, you barely use it anymore. But, you know, Zul'Goth, Stellarix, or Diamantina, and then maybe the Horde Mimic Mythic. Those are, like, some of the most exciting things to get. Horde Mimic Mythic only because it's super rare RNG. You're not going to do anything with it. But, you know, that's why Stellarix and Zul'Goth kind of feel better, because you're actually going to use them. It's going to change your account, make it for the better. Like, Horde Mimic Mythic is not going to change your account for the better. It's just, like, exciting in the moment. Alright, so that's the high-level team. If you have access to everything in the game, that's what I mean by high-level team. Yeah, the captain can't kill everything, but it's, like, one at a time. I don't like that. You gotta hit the first guy, and then it's the enemy's turn. And then you gotta hit the second guy, and then it's the enemy's turn. And then you gotta hit the third guy, and then it's the enemy's turn. And then you gotta hit the fourth guy, and then it's the enemy's turn. I'm not a big fan of, like, doing that. I'd rather do Nebula, like, 2 times. Instead of doing the captain 4 times. You see what I mean? But if you're super deep, it might be different. That's why I asked. Like, maybe, like, Nebula takes 4 casts, and now it's the same. 4 and 4. Meanwhile, you gotta take mana here and there, so it's not even just 4. I gotta take mana with Nebula, too, but that's why I don't say that part. Like, I gotta cast 2 times, you gotta cast 4 times, right? Or I gotta cast 3 times, you gotta cast 4 times. Or I gotta cast 4 times, and you gotta cast 4 times. Like, no matter what I say, like, mine isn't worse. But if you don't have Nebula, that's a good idea. I just don't recommend, like, multiple captains. And you're one-shotting, overkilling 4 times slowly. Probably works, though. I just gotta explain for everybody else, you know. If it's working for you, don't stop doing it. Okay, let's see. Now we gotta do Tesla. We're being boring today. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this. Show you the metas. Where's she at? There she is. 2 of those. And her buddy, her girlfriend, they go out together. They go to the club. You know, they get all sexy together, and then they go out to the club, you know. Holy St. Astra and Tesla. They got a TV show. Like the ex-wives. The ex-wives club, you know. And then for the weapon, you can do whatever you want. Any kind of explodey. You need mana generation. 80% of you have the wand, so I don't feel bad when I do this. And then for class, just whatever you're leveling. Ooh, I got Necro at 100, I forgot. What did I switch to? Can't remember. Oracle? I'm doing Oracle now. It's not going to be as good because it's not a 50% start class, but I got to level something. Banner, blue and red. That's fine. Sore ass banner. The other team has a sore ass because Tesla and Holy Saint Astra are out on the town looking hot. Sonny, you got your last dragon for Diamantina. That's great. I love it. Congrats. Now it's just a matter of time. And Diamantina is just very slightly... If you don't have Stellarix, Diamantina is a great replacement until you can get Stellarix. That's why if you're super close to Diamantina, you might as well keep going. But for some reason, the Cosmic Dragons are easier to get. So I don't even know what kind of advice to give anymore. It depends how many eggs you get, how many dragons you got. And you know what I mean? Like if a person has 5 of the Gem Dragons, are they really going to... And they have 0 of the Cosmics, what's your advice to that person? I would say keep going and just get the Diamantina since you're so close. But Diamantina is so much harder to get, it's weird. So you could go and open 5 Cosmic Eggs and get 5 different Cosmic Dragons. Or you could sit there and open 5 Diamantina Gem Dragon Eggs and get repeats. So it's pretty much up to the person what you want to try to do. Oh, I gotta put in a timestamp. Mid-level. We'll say 22. Alright, blue or red? Put your guard medals on for this team. Tesla boosts off of armor. When they're both the same like this, go to the next room. If you're doing treasure multiplier order, which you don't have to. But you go to the next room and see, okay, we got 1.2, we got 1.3. So both of these are the same, right? But if I do this one, I then get access to a 1.3. If I do this one, I only get access to a 1.2. So I'd rather do this one first and get access to the 1.3. Morning, Rain Man! Thanks for your help outside of the game. We trying. We're gonna try. We'll try to have a good day today. Sick of having crappy days. Alright. What else is people saying? Livewire still has over 400 vault keys to open. You better get on it. You better get on it. Doggone it. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3 days. Are you gonna be able to do that? I would say you could probably open 100 in a day. Like, I wouldn't want to open more than 100. I feel like it I mean, with the Takaka, it's not as bad anymore, but I don't know. I don't know if I've ever opened more than 100 in a day. That's just from my experience. I'm sure there's people out there that have done like 150 or 200 or something, but from my experience, I don't think I've ever opened more than 100. Man, why'd I do that? Oh, cool. You could cancel out of it. Used to not be able to cancel out of stuff like that. It's the first time I've tried it. Rich says I need Scarab of Nefertani to craft Duskbringer. Duskbringer's good. When you got a whole purple team, that's when I use it. I almost force myself to use it, though. Like, there's probably, like, always something else you can do. But it's cool. I like to use it as, like, a, finisher. Like, if I'm using Stellarix with my hero, and, like, let's say we're doing a purple team, and I got Thrall and Leprechaun and Stellarix. Like, we can't do Takaka, because it's like a purple restriction. I'll do Thrall, Leprechaun, Stellarix, and then I'll throw the hero on there with Duskbringer. Now we got a full purple team, which is best for Duskbringer. and you're doing Stellarex, and you're getting class experience. That's like the situation where I use Duskbringer. You know, there's specific situations for Dawnbringer too, like a class event where the restriction's crappy, and you have access to some okay yellow troops. Like mana generating yellow troops. Or even not, like say there's just a horrible restriction for the class event that week. But you have Dawnbringer and you can just throw some yellow troops on there and just... Now the red macaque is kind of like the option. The red macaque is the Stellarex to Diamantina. Is Dawnbringer's Stellarex. Red macaque is Dawnbringer's Stellarex. Does that make sense? Like if you have both, you're probably always going to use the red macaque. I gotta learn how to say that weapon properly. I just always say red macaque. Red macaque. Stress is gone. Yep, same for you, Mark, right? Stellarex gets duplicate cosmetic dragons, right? What up, Rich? Mark says I have had 2 Dragonite Gnomes in PvP today, one for 30 and one for 60. Alright. Yeah, once you do the Vault event will be a good place to get some Dragonite too. Especially if you get lucky. Like, some people just don't get lucky, but... Any house news? Not really. Like, we got another person working on it. I'm just letting everybody know. I don't know, that's like a strat. Did I already lock that in? I hope not. Sometimes I accidentally do that. Alright, cool, we're not. So that's your mid-level team. If you don't have Stellarex, you don't have Diamantina, this is what you would use. If you don't have the wand, you can go with like Osha's Tome, or Essence of Evil, or Mountain Crusher, or any explodey weapon is fine. Just don't do like Red Macaque there. You don't need like 3 true damage. You got 2 Teslas. That should be enough. You're going overboard on damage at that point. You're going to be slower. You think like that would be faster because you got even more damage. But you have no way to like fill them up. So you're going to take longer filling them up. So what you need is just 2 Teslas. That's it. Unless you want to do like Tesla and Red Macaque and then 2 mana generators. That would be fine. But you always need mana generation. You know, the 2 Teslas will take care of almost everything. So you need, you know, the Holy Saint Astra is your mana generation. It's doing 50% start. The wand is then taking it the rest of the way. And then the 2 Teslas get the kills. They don't need help. So you'd never do like a Red Macaque there instead of the Wand of Stars. You don't need 3 things doing true damage. You'll never use all 3 of them. Unless you're on like 500 or something. You're just going to have slow battles on 500. You're probably better off going with like Zul'Goth on 500. There's the mid-level team! The thing is, Mark, like I don't have a lot of time to be looking, and then when I do look, it's like, there's nothing. And then when I do find something, I send a message, and then either they don't get back to me, or I call and I leave a voicemail and they don't get back to me, or I send an email and they don't get back to me, or they do get back to me and they say, oh, it's already off market. Or we schedule a tour and then they say it was canceled and we go all the way out there for nothing. Or it's like too much money or something, or they have a weird reason, like a weird thing, like you can't eat hamburgers at the house or something. It's always something, dude. Like, I'm trying, like, every day, at least 15 minutes a day. I'm not, like, sitting here trying for 8 hours a day, though. I don't want to, like, people to think that, but I've been sitting here trying, like, 15 minutes a day every day for, like, the last 6 months or something like that. It's crazy. And, like, Mrs. Senny's sick of me talking about certain things, and I'm sure you guys are getting sick of it, too. But if you ask, I'm going to tell you. Lurking from work, Tyrion. Good to see you, man. Glad you stopped by. Mark said I only had 1 duplicate Cosmic out of 6 and numerous Gem Dragons. That's how I felt. Like, Diamantina took me, like, 16 eggs. Diamantina took me like 16 eggs, and then the Stellarix took me like 8 or 9. That is a huge difference, and everybody watched Tacit get it in one try. He opened 6 cosmic eggs, he got 6 different dragons. And he was going, when he did Diamantina, he had to open like 20 of them. So you watch 2 different streamers both get Stellarix way easier and have trouble getting Diamantina. And I'm sure there's other ones. I don't want to hear about it because I don't like any of them, but except for, Crisp. But I don't know how Crisp did as far as like his Diamantina and Stellarix. I'm sure it was pretty similar though. I'm sure he had more trouble with Diamantina than he did with Stellarix. Yoke the Ham says, how many keys during Vault Weekend do people get? Low, average, and high. If you're a beginner, shoot for 100, bare minimum. If you're mid-level, shoot for 200, bare minimum. If you're high level, shoot for 300, bare minimum. That doesn't mean you have to get, doesn't mean you have to get 100 if you're low level, Try to get 200. And if you're mid-level, it doesn't mean you have to get 200. Try to get 300. But like that's the bare minimums I feel. If you're a beginner, you should try for at least 100. If you're mid-level, you should try for at least 200. And if you're high level, you should try for at least 300. That's just my opinion. It's subjective. Lavar says, that's my goal, 100 a day. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Rayman says my average is 40 to 60 keys. Don't have time to grind like I'd... Yeah, it's like 5 hours a day is what you should shoot for, I'd say. Garth is here. Beg says, PvP really does suck now. Every battle is Zul, Stella, Taka, Elementalist, Wand. You're right. Dragor, the Switch catch-up happened, and I got 4 new mythics and all the basic troops about to open vault keys for the rest. That's sweet. I'm glad they did that. Chad jumping on the train. Appreciate it, dude. Sana is out there trying, and Chad says, I'm going to help. I'm the type of person that's going to go out there and help somebody when they're struggling with something. I'm Chad. Alright, let's go. Low-level team. I think I'm going to do Rowan. We got green, we got blue. I think that's Rowan, right? Let's do this and just go down there and get her. I still use Rowan. Oh, Leprechaun. I forget. I never know what to do for the 3rd slot though. Weapon you could do. It depends, like how much armor you got. You might want to do Black Manacles. You might want to do Golden Cog. You might want to do Shield of Erskaya. You could double up on Leprechaun or double up on Wand or something. Like maybe we'll do. Let's do Black Manacles. And then double up on Leprechaun. And we have each damage dealer has their own Leprechaun. And then, level a class if you want to, Titan would be good, Thief would be good, Archer would be good if you want like specific directions on what class to do to make the team better. I'd say Archer, Thief, or Titan. But I would just level something. So if you already have those all at 100, level whatever you're leveling. So when you use these team codes, like especially the mid and the low level, you might have to switch out the class to something that you actually want to use. Because I'm putting stuff on that I want to use. Because it doesn't matter too much. Alright, we're mostly interested in getting up the Rowan, so I'm going to go like that. Now this, you may want to do Golden Cog later, you may want to do Shield over Sky later. Like right now, this would probably be fine. But Rowan's the type of team where you kind of switch it around, change it up as you go. You can use it the whole way, but you might need to switch it up and use different weapons, different... Yeah. Let's put a timestamp. Like if we had access to... I can't remember the colors. What is it? Like the Clockwork Sphinx colors. I would use that. But I don't think we do. I think it's like brown and purple or something, right? Alright, low level. 35. I don't think I have my guards on. Make sure you put your guards on. It's like putting on your underwear, tying your shoes, putting on your belt. Makes you less saggy. But I don't think I'm going to run through this whole thing. Well, I kind of have to show you the team code, but I guess I could, we'll just run through it. I could probably do it pretty quick. Garth, you're still working on Diamantina? I think if you're close, that's a good idea. But if you're, like, super far, like, you only have 1 or 2 eggs, or 1 or 2 different dragons, you might want to switch to Stellarix. But I just don't know exactly. It all depends on the person. Like, Diamantina came out first, so you're more likely to have more gem dragons. But Stellarix is easier to get for some reason. Even though it doesn't say it anywhere in the game, and the devs didn't even say it anywhere, it just, from what I've seen, Stellarix is easier to get. You're going to get less duplicates. So Diamantina has a jump on Stellarix because it's been in the game longer, but Stellarix is easier to get. When you're opening the eggs, you're not going to get as many duplicates. So it kind of depends where you're at. Like, if you had 3 gem dragons, that would be a hard decision whether you should switch to Stellarix or not. If you have 2, you should probably switch to Stellarix. If you have 1, you should probably switch to Stellarix. If you have 4, I don't know. That's a hard decision. If you have 5 for Diamantina, you should probably keep going for Diamantina. Just like, how close are you? If you're not close at all, just switch over to the other one. Definitely don't go back and forth, though. Like, pick one and go all in. Just like I said at the beginning of the faction event. You either go all in or you're all out. Same with Diamantina or Stellarix. Don't, like, switch back and forth between the two. Then you're never going to get either one of them. You got to go all in. You got to pick one of the two and just open eggs just for that and only that. You know, if you choose the switch from Diamantina to Stellarix, that means you're just doing Cosmic Dragons from then on out. That's the only thing you would ever switch. That's the only time you would ever switch. Like, oh, I got 2 different Gem Dragons. I'm going to switch to Stellarix. And then you just stay on Stellarix till you get it. You would never switch from Stellarix back to Diamantina. And you definitely don't want to open a Cosmic Egg this week, and then a Gem Dragon Egg the next week, and then a Cosmic Egg the week after that, and then a Gem Dragon Egg 3 weeks later. Like, don't do that. That's kind of like going around to all your kingdoms and putting them on 16. You're just, like, spreading your butt cheeks apart. We gotta keep them tight. Chad said, "What's up, Cinny, Sana, and Sinners?" Yoke says, "So the best way is to wait until like 2 or 3 gap and open them, rinse and repeat." My way that I do it, because I don't come in with like 50,000 gaps. I'll come in with like 2 gaps. You want to make sure you have 1 or 2 for the beginning of the vault event. I know that's not always possible. It might be your first vault event, so you have 0. But usually you want to leave yourself 1 or 2 for the next vault event. At least. Like, I don't like leaving more than that. I'm not the person that saves up gaps. Some people save them up. I don't know why they do that, but they're kind of just giving themselves something to do in the future instead of doing it now. They're putting it off. But, you know, I try to come in with 1 or 2. And then, you know, you kind of look at your boss chest. And you want to make sure it's as close to 0 as possible. So, you know, you're going to go to Wild Plains or Cinemirage or one of those, like the Blackhawk, that area. One of those, Explorer 1, Ironhawk, or Rowan. I don't even know. Are people going to use Talkhawka for Vault Event now? I still think it's Ironhawks, but we're going to have to see. This is the first Vault Event where Talkhawka is a thing. I think Talkaka would get you boss chests too fast, and it would kind of waste time. But also, you're going to be able to kill higher... You know, you could maybe go after metals or something. I don't know. I don't know what people are going to do. I'm going to stick with Ironhawk for now and just let everybody else be the guinea pigs. I think for this vault event coming up, you should stick with Ironhawk, and then just, you know, if everybody's like, oh my gosh, Talkaka was amazing, then that's when you switch on the next one. Like, you don't always have to be the first guy doing things. But, so yeah, I bring 1 or 2 into the vault event, and then I'm using Rowan or Ironhawk on Explorer 1 in, like, Wild Plains or something. I take a look at my boss chest. If I'm on, like, 80 out of 100, I'll go ahead and just do triple Ironhawk until I get to 100. I'll do the boss chest. I'll set myself as close to 0 as possible. Then I'll run my gap. That way, when I'm running my gap, I'm not going to hit a boss chest and, like, waste time. So then I run the gap. You know, it depends if you're looking for Dragonite super hard or not, what you do there. If you don't need Dragonite, you just run your gap and don't worry about, like, the 15 minutes. You just keep going as fast as you can until the 15 minutes is up. If you're trying to get as much Dragonite as possible, you would set a timer for 15 minutes. If it's near the end of the timer and you see a Dragonite gnome, you would wait out the timer while that Dragonite gnome is on the screen, and then you would finish the battle after the music stops. That way you can get the max amount of Dragonite from that Dragonite gnome. You only do that in the last, like, minute or two. You don't want to waste too much of a gap. So now you just ran your first gap, and you're going to be at, like, 50 or 60 or 70 out of 100 on your boss chest. So then I go back to farming versus is what I call it. My triple Ironhawk farming versus. I'm not doing a Nomapalooza. I'm farming versus. I'll go back to doing triple Ironhawk. I'll farm versus till I get to the boss chest. Then once I'm back to close to 0 again, I'll run the next gap with double Ironhawk. You run the gap with the double Ironhawk, you know, you're back to 50, 60 out of 100 again. The gap is over. And then you go hunt versus again with triple Ironhawk until you get to your boss chest. Back to 0, you know, hopefully you're getting the verses you need in that amount of time. If you don't, you kind of have to run a whole boss chest with the triple Ironhawk and look for that verse. If you don't have all the verses, you can't run a gap, so you just have to keep doing Explorer 1 and with triple Ironhawk until you get the right verse. But a lot of the time, you'll get the one you need in that amount of time. So that's kind of how I play it. Some people, like, save up 25 gaps and they just run gaps the whole weekend. You know, but I don't understand, like, what they did like, how they did that. They had to, like, not run any gaps one weekend, so they're just, like, doing the same thing you're doing, just in a different order. It's not, like, better. Is it maybe, like, they only had a certain amount of time, or maybe they couldn't concentrate or something? Like, that's the only thing I could think of, like, why you would have a billion gaps. Like, you had to, like, one weekend you were just distracted and you couldn't, like, there was no period of time where you would have 15 straight minutes to play the game. So you're just sitting there and doing farming verses instead because there's no, like, clock that you're on. It's the only thing I can think of is for why people would stack up a billion gaps, because it's the same exact thing either way. Whether you're running 25 gaps in a row over the weekend or you're doing them one at a time every time you get them, it's still the same thing. It's just like, one weekend you're looking for verses, and then one weekend you're opening all your gaps. While I'm sitting here and doing the same exact thing, like, we're going to end up in the same place after 2 vault events. Anyway, that's the low-level team if I didn't show the team code. And if you don't have Ironhawk, you just run Rowan. Something like this on the screen, but you'd probably do, like, Mirage Queen, maybe Clockwork Sphinx, maybe Golden... probably not Golden Cog, but... You know, you just use your Rowan if you don't have double Ironhawk. If you have double Ironhawk, you use double Ironhawk. If you have triple, you use that for verses, but not Nomapaloozas. Double Ironhawk is for Nomapaloozas. Triple Ironhawk is for hunting verses. Rowan is for if you don't have double Ironhawk. There's Moon Mage out there. It's okay, too, if you need to level Doomsayer. But if you already have Doomsayer all the way leveled, then you might as well switch back to Rowan. Because you have to use Doomsayer to use Moon Mage. It's the only way it works. There's other teams, you know, people do Tesla, people do Red Macaco, people might do Takaka this weekend, but I feel like all of those are a little bit slower, no matter what they say. You know, they're just trying to be different. Tesla takes 16 mana to fill. Rowan only takes, you know, 6. Or, you know, 8 to 6, whatever it is. And they both clear in one shot, so why would you want to give yourself more mana? You know, Red Macaque takes however much mana it takes. Rowan takes way less. Like, I don't think anything's better than Rowan that's not Ironhawk. Because everything else takes more mana to fill, and it's going to be less consistent. So you're just doing it to be different. If you're doing Red Macaque or Tesla or something, you know that you're going to get less Vault Keys, and you're just doing it to be different. Alright, what else did you guys say? Judas is here. Drager says most people farm a gap, play a gap. Some of us build up a reserve first. Yep. Beg says I have 822 Vault Keys on Vault Weekend. Run 2 to 3 gaps, just no desire anymore. Dang, that's a lot of Vault Keys. Maybe if you open them all. That's why I say, like, open all your Vault Keys. That way you have motivation to go get more. If you're sitting there with 0 Vault Keys, you might feel different. You might actually want to get some. If you never open your Vault Keys and you just stack them, you're gonna skip Vault. You're gonna be like, why would I get more? I haven't even opened the ones I got. Why would I get more? So that's why I avoid stacking up a bunch of Vault Keys. It's like a mental gymnastics you have to do, Peg. If you open all those Vault Keys, you'll at least be a little bit more motivated to go get some. Yeah, Dragonite. If you want Dragonite, you gotta do the, you gotta, like, do the thing at the end of the, gaps. If you see a Dragonite gnome, you gotta leave it on the screen until the music's over and then kill it. Because they nerfed gaps to where you get a portion of what it would normally drop if you just kill it too fast. So you gotta leave it on the screen until the gap's over, so the nerf's over. So then when you kill it, it's different music, it's not a gap anymore, and you get the full drop. So you can get up to like 60 instead of like 6. But, you know, you're not going to get a Dragonite gnome in the last 2 minutes like every gap. It's going to happen like once every 5 gaps or something. But you'll get the little bit of Dragonite here and there, like a Dragonite gnome will pop up in the first 2 minutes, and then like maybe like halfway through, and then, you know, you're getting a little bit here and there every... So it adds up over the weekend. You'll get more Dragonite than you will when it's not a Vault Weekend. Either way. 500 and 1,000 for Garth. Drager says still Ironhawk Spore 1 gets you less chests and Takshaka isn't guaranteed to turn 1. I know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel like people are going to try it this weekend, though, and they're probably going to be saying how awesome it is, and then, you know, it'll settle back down and everybody will come to their senses. But we'll see. Sometimes I'm not right. Gar says, Fat Fingers with Diamantina, I think I'll be done for dragons for a while. After Stellarix, you'll hoard Dragonite. Yeah, you should. I mean, there's nothing else to do with it. Gar says, yeah, well, I don't think I will save for Dragonite for a dragon is what I mean. Took me, like, forever to get Diamantina. Yeah, it's the Vault this weekend, Garth. Drager says, I was waiting for the Switch catch-up so I could open Vault Keys and get new troops. That was smart. I should have said that. You know, I'm not on Switch, so I'm not like in the Switch mentality, but that was smart of you. Gar says, man, I hit my record over 400 keys with my 2 Ironhawks last time. Great job. My record's only like 5 or something. I don't even know. I keep forgetting. I know I've hit like 450 at least. And the most I've ever got is maybe like 550. So it's somewhere between 450 and 550 for me, which isn't even that many. Like, there's people out there getting 1,000, but for me, that's probably the most I'm ever going to be able to do is like 500 something. I just don't have the time. All right, let's do the Underspire. Oh, it's probably going to be the same old crap from the raids. Let's put a chapter in so they don't have to listen to my Vault event stuff. Underspire start 40 or 50. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We're going to do a high-level team first. We have access to everything. I think it's going to be the same as the raid event, you guys. I mean, we have, like, the same troops. And the same weapons. This is going to be kind of boring. The faction event was boring. I did all the boring teams. But at least you'll get it done quickly. And then this is kind of boring. I mean, if you're sitting there and watching a raid event video and then you go and watch an Underspire video, isn't it like deja vu? It should be. I don't even know if I'd watch both of those. Here I am being self-saboteur again. There's a little tip for you. I go Possess King because I don't know. At least we don't have to use the Anointed Champion, but is there anything else to use anyway? Oh yeah, Thrall. And maybe Essence of Evil? I would like to do some sort of extra turns for that Possessed King, though. I'm gonna do this. The reason I'm doing Screaming Tome is to make extra turns on the board so that way the Possessed King is then exploding and doing something. I don't really want him there to help me with damage, even though he could. I want him there to help me with mana for the Nebula. Thrall's fine there, right? He's not getting blocked by anybody, so he's fine there. He could even go here and protect the dragon a little bit, like that. Dragon's still fine. Possessed King on the bottom, we're just using the third trait. But in this case, we do have to make our class Plague Lord, but at least Plague Lord's not bad. If you use a weapon like Screaming Tome, you have to use the class to make yourself the typing or kingdom or whatever it says on the card. Banner! I would say green and purple, if possible. Okay, we got green, yellow, purple, red, brown. Okay, blue would be great to minus, so right here. Unless there's purple, green, blue. Nope. Reason I'm minusing blue is because the Possessed King, I'm not like super excited to cast it, so I don't care if it gets its mana up anyway. So it's like the least important color. Green is important because we're getting up the weapon, we're getting up Nebula. Purple's important because we want to get up Thrall. Blue is not important because the Possessed King, I don't care about casting it, I'm just using it for its third trait. And, you know, blue's the color that no other troop uses. Everybody else, some other troops use green, some other troops use purple, so I'm not going to pick those. So I picked blue. That's what I'm thinking when I'm doing banners. I used to be horrible. I remember like 3-4 years ago, I used to not even know how to do banners. Like, even though it's simple, like, once you figure it out, it's simple. Like, double up on the color that you need the most, and then whatever color you need the least, minus that. And that's a great place to start if you want to learn how to do banners by yourself. Put a check mark for the color that your team is using the most, and put an X for the color that your team is either using the least or not using at all. And that's a great start. And whatever banners pop up there, you could pick those. You'd be fine. Alright, so this is the high-level team. We're using everything at our disposal. We got a Nebula, we got a Possessed King, we got 2 Mythics. And, I guess I'll put a timestamp before we get started. High-level Underspire. 5430. Alright, so here's our high-level Underspire team. I explained why I picked what, you know, a couple minutes ago. If you're hitting the chapter, you might want to go back a little bit if you don't understand why I picked what I picked. But you need to have it just like this to make it work right. You can't, like, substitute. We could kill it with that. This, grab that. Free lantern, doubles your loot. Always use a lantern on a dragon. If you're going all the way, use it on dragon 6, right, I think? Is it 6 or 5? 6, it's 6. If you're going all the way, use it on 6. If you're only doing free battles, use it on 1 or 2. I do 1, some people do 2. 2 is a scratcher. 1 is a guaranteed thing. So 2 could give you more potential loot, but it could also give you a bunch of green boogers and sexy pictures of Cedric. So I go for the sure thing. I want the orbs and the writs. That's a sure thing. It's showing me exactly what I'm gonna get. So I double that. If you double the second dragon, you know, it's more potential loot, but you could also get a sexy picture of Cedric and like a green booger orb. Might even get 3 sexy pictures of Cedric. No. Just kill that. We need purple or green or yellow. Take those extra turns, you get so much mana from that Possessed King. That's why he's there. Every extra turn you get, it explodes. It's kind of like a lightning strike. Alright, one more with this, then we'll do a mid-level. If you don't have Nebula and you don't have the Possessed King, I'll try to help you out. It's probably gonna be like the raid. Ooh, no extra turns there, but we got up Thrall. So this is what I recommend for you if you're high level. If you substitute anything in, like if you don't have the Screaming Tome, it's in the Soul Forge. If you substitute in an explodey weapon there, then your Possessed King's not gonna. You might as well take the Possessed King off your team. So if you're gonna do this team, you should probably do it exactly the way I have it. Everything there is there for a reason. The banner's there for a reason. The class is there for a reason. The troops are in the order for a reason. Each troop has its reason it's on the team. Reasons, reasons, reasons. If you start messing with it and changing it, you might as well just scrap the whole thing and go do your own thing. If you have 2 Nebulas, you could take off Possessed King and put on another Nebula, maybe. Or if you don't have the Possessed King, like, you could take him off and put something else on. But then you probably don't need the Screaming Tome. You might as well take the Screaming Tome off and put on Explodey. Like, the weapon and the Possessed King are, like, together. They need to... If you take one off, you gotta take the other off. The class is with the weapon. They're together. If you take off that weapon, you might as well take off that class. You know what I mean? The banner is with that team. If you start taking stuff off the team, putting other stuff on the team, the banner goes with that team. You know, might as well take off the banner and put on a different banner. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you change anything, you're going to have to change other things too, and you might as well scrap the whole team. Good Underspire week, says Dregor. Yoke says, how much time do you guys grind on Vault Weekend? I'm going to try for 8 to 10 hours over the whole weekend. I usually recommend like 15 hours, but, you know, 10 to 15 is probably pretty good. Do like 3 hours a day or 5 hours a day. Like, I say 15 hours, but am I doing 15 hours? I don't. Probably not exactly. I might do like 10. Like, if I could say, like, hey, do 15 hours and you do it, then you're going to be better off. But I know, like, not everybody has that much time. You probably have to, like, wake up early, do a couple hours, and stay up late and do a couple hours. If you're really like interested in getting further in this game and like getting gems and stuff and Dragonite and all that, and you're like motivated to get further in this game, you'll wake up early, you'll go to bed late, you'll make time to be able to play it. 3 to 5 hours a day on the Vault Weekend. Because on a normal day, you're playing like an hour or 2 hours. You just got to add another hour on. Like, it's not crazy. It sounds crazy to say 15 hours, but if you break it up over like 3 days and like morning and night, it's really only like 2.5 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours at night, 3 times in a row. Mark says 4th boss, still my record in Underspire, but I do have 3 Sentinels. That's nice. Garth says if you grind any time on gears, it's Vault Weekend. Right, on gems. Drager says I do about 20 hours or so. I work. That's nice. That's perfect. Yeah, gems. Sana says I spend that amount of time too, even more when I have the chance. Drager says that reminds me of the OP Maze banner. Oh yeah, 2-2. It was like a 2-2, or what was it again? It was like a 2-1 without a minus, or was it a 2-2 with a minus? I can't even remember now. I think it was a 2-2. Per day on 2 accounts, Sana. Mark says 8 to 10 hours a day here for 2 accounts. Definitely 6, says Dragor. 6 boss dragons? Somebody asked a question about that, or did I say something? Dragor says my friend is the complete opposite of me. He buys every pass and won't grind any vault. That sucks. I would hate to be that person. You're just like trying to buy your way through the game, but you won't put any effort in. That's probably somebody that would not watch my channel then. I'm guessing that's the kind of people that watch Frosted Fakes. People that watch Frosted Fakes are the ones that just want to throw money at it and put no effort in. And copy-paste teams and throw money at it. They don't want to learn how to play the game. They just want to throw money at it and be told what to do. I'm here trying to like teach you how to play. Save you money, save you time. Alright, let's see. What can we do here for mid-level? So my own restriction, I cannot use mythics on the mid-level team. I think Magnus is your best way to go. Maybe double up on it. If you like Scion, you know, you could do Scion. I'm not a big fan because it doesn't hit hard enough. Like, if you're losing or you're super deep, Scion might help. But, you know, your damage is going to go down. It's going to make the battles take longer. That's what's weird about a troop like Scion. Like, it'll drain 7 mana from all enemies. It might silence them and stuff. But then the battle's going to take longer because Scion's not doing as much damage as, like, a Magnus would. So you're, like, trading. You're trading like, oh, I'm going to make them weaker, but I'm also making myself weaker. So it's still taking the same amount of time. That's why I say it's all in on offense. Like, defense doesn't help that much in this game. Unless you're, like, really effing them up like a elementalist or something. I like this, yeah, but I like the all-seeing eye troops. They're more like a low-level option. This one's okay if you maybe put 2 of these on, but we gotta talk about that maybe for low-level. So yeah, if you're mid-level, we gotta use our legendaries. I think I'm gonna go pretty much like this. We're inflicting a random stats effect on 4 or 5 gym match. So I guess I'll stay with this weapon, but you don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't want the negative stats effects for the Magnus, you can switch to an explodey weapon here and it wouldn't be terrible. And then you can switch out a Plague Lord into another class to level it. So I'm going to keep it like this for now. And then we definitely need purple. And then what? We're going to say purple, yellow minus green, no. Purple blue, no. Purple red, no. Purple brown, that looks good. No, it's minus in green. Purple green minus red, that looks good. Purple brown minus blue is good too, but I need some sort of help. Well, the Thrall has purple. I think I'm going to go with this. Purple brown minus blue. We got 3 purples and 2 browns. Nothing else is like that except for purple and brown, so we'll do that. Alright, so there's your mid-level team. That's the best I could come up with. You know, I'm expecting a high-level player to maybe go to 7. I'm expecting a mid-level player to maybe go to, you know, 4, 5, 6, something like that. I'm expecting a beginner to go to, like, 2 or 3. Like, you're probably not going to take my beginner team all the way to 7. Because you probably shouldn't. You should probably be doing other things if you're a beginner than doing the uNDERSPIRE to full completion. First of all, it costs too much, and there's other things you should spend your gems on as a beginner. Second of all, it's going to be super hard because you're not going to have all the troops. And you have other things you should be doing. Most likely. As far as which way to go in the Underspire, I feel like there's no rhyme or reason. People have their theories about which way to go, and then their theory fails every other time. So you can follow those instructions if you want. I don't. And I got 3 Sentinels. JM Ricks, what up? Sana said 2 times green and red. It was definitely green and red. I think it was minus purple. It's exactly the same as it is now, except for it was +2, +2. I think it was green and red, +2 green, +2 red, -1 purple or something. Okay. Dang, I missed. Didn't get our mana surge. Alright, I think that's enough of this. You're just getting up your Magnus. Whoa, let's do the boss. I'm gonna do this. Watch me. I practice what I preach. Ready? Lantern. Now, if you have every single mythic to bronze elite, maybe you can switch to the second boss. I'm not saying it's a hard and fast rule. And like I said, you can do 1 or 2. Depends how much of a gambler you are. I don't gamble very much. When I go to the casino, I go to the roulette table and I put like chips on 20 different numbers. I'm not going to put everything on black or everything on red. You know what I mean? Back when I played No Limit Hold'em poker on the internet, I would sit there and fold, wait till I have a awesome hand. I'm not going to go all in and try to, I mean, that can win sometimes, but it's not my style. I'm more of a I'd rather know what I'm getting and get it and not have a scratcher, get a scratch off. Like, Mrs. Cindy wants to buy scratch. Like, she says, we should buy one. Every time I get my paycheck, we should buy one. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that's wasting money. Like, I don't know. Especially with I know my luck. I was trying to race home yesterday. I got every single red light. That's why I need a dash cam. Because I could prove it to you. I want to show everybody how ridiculous it is. You think I'm, like, being exaggerating or something. It was like every single red light, and I needed to get home quickly. And I was sitting there like at every red light. Alright, there's your mid-level team. You don't have very many options, so... Dang, I forgot to put a chapter. We'll just say the 1 hour mark. If it's wrong, you can yell at me later. It's probably more like 10 something. Alright, let's catch up in the chat before I make the low level, which is probably going to be difficult. Which my recommendation is maybe only do your free battles if you're low level, because you need to be spending your time on other things. Like, you should always do everything they present to you and do the free battles. Like, they're giving you 7 torches a day for free. So if you don't use them, you're missing out. But you don't need to be spending gems as a beginner and, like, get more. And you probably shouldn't be spending money and... Alright, let's see what y'all was saying. Drager says, although he did get 500 pure Silver Necropolis for a power level, so that was neat. Beg says, I wish the first gap for the event was set to the original gap drops. Yeah, that'd be nice. Like that one Thursday. We haven't had like an all-day... Or back in the day, they would do like more than a 3-day vault. Like if they really screwed the pooch to like make it up to us... Sometimes they would do like a week-long vault event or like a 4-day vault event or a 5-day. Like they don't do that anymore. Instead we've been getting them more often though, so you can't complain. We've been getting like one a month now instead of one every 5 or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it used to be. So can't complain because they come more often now. But like when they first put in, I think it was gaps or something. They gave us like a longer vault event. It was fun. And the first day of it was like glitched out and we were getting so much loot. Alright, JM Ricks, thanks for lurking. Chad, you too? Chad and Sauna out there fiddle farting around with the engine today. Appreciate it. Livewire says, just noticed this was a 8-room delve. Nice. Free sigils are for everybody, but I feel like if they give you something, you should do it. So that's all I'm saying. Like, a beginner shouldn't skip the Underspire, but they don't need to get too super stressed out and try to go to the 7th boss either. What does mana surge actually mean? That means you got more than 3 mana when you matched a 3-match. So you got your mastery, you know, you level up your mastery. Every time you level, you get more mastery for a color. And that's a percent chance to get a mana surge when you match that color. So every time you match a 3-match, you have a percent chance to get a mana surge. And a mana surge will give you like, it's like double the mana or something. I'm not like the encyclopedia of Gems of War. I just know you get more mana for a mana surge. Like somebody in the chat probably knows exactly how much. But it's more than like a 4-match or a 5-match. So I think it's double, like you get 6 or something. So every time you get a mana surge, you get like double the mana. So if you do a 3-match of purple and it says mana surge, you just got at least 6 mana for purple. And if it doesn't say mana surge, you get 3 mana. I mean, I think you got like banners and stuff, so it's more than 6. Like, you know how you do a +2, +1, blah, blah, blah. Or some of your troops have traits that give you a +1, +2. Like, you got to add all that in too. I'm just saying, like, in a vacuum, a mana surge will give you double mana. I think. Something like that. So, like, if you do a 4-match, sometimes if you're frozen and you have a 4-match, it's better to match it in a way that you get a 3-match instead of the 4-match. If you're frozen on purple and you do a extra turn for 4 mana, it's just going to give you 4 no matter what. And you're not going to get an extra turn because you're frozen. So if you're frozen on purple and you have a 4-match, do a 3 instead. Like, don't match it to make an extra turn. Match it to where it's not an extra turn. You get 3. Then you have a chance at a mana surge, and you'll get 6 mana or whatever it is. More than 4. So that's a little, like, min-max strat that you can do. If you know everything about the game, you're sitting there and matching 3 when you're frozen instead of 4. Because you have a chance at a mana surge, which is more mana than 4 mana. If you do a 5-match, you get 5 mana, right? But it's an extra turn, so you get another turn, so then you get more mana. Like, it's still good to take extra turns. You shouldn't just take 3 matches, but when you're frozen, you should. Mike Sheard, good to see ya. Been MIA for a couple weeks. Life, I feel ya, dude. Sometimes I can barely get on here. Drager says, no, it's called Punishment Light. If you hit a bad cycle, you get every red. I just never get every green, though. Mark says it's a small percentage, like 15%, I think. No, like a mana surge, it's, like, for me, it's like a 40 or 50 or 60% chance. Like, the higher the level you become, like, the more chance you get. And I think your guild has something to do with it, too. I'm surprised nobody in the chat knows exactly more than me. But, like, your guild gives you more mastery. Like, when you level up, you get more mastery. Like, so my percent chance at getting a mana surge right now is at least 40-something%. It's probably more than that, but it's not 15. Like, that's why you hear it so much. Just listen to the game. You're going to hear mana surge, mana surge, mana surge, mana surge. Like, it goes off so much. It's definitely like a 50% chance or something. Supernova says the secret of getting all green lights is to drive slower, like 5 miles per hour. If you drive faster, you'll catch every red light. There was this one light I was sitting at, like, it was a red light, and then you go, like, a little bit further, and then there's a turning lane, like, where you can go left. And the light was red, and then the turning lane was green. But nobody was there to go, because everybody was stuck at the red light before that. I'm like, why is that light green up there? Like, nobody's going. There's nobody up there because everybody's sitting at this red light. They should have them like to where they work together. Like this light should be green when that light has a green arrow. That way people can go through it. Instead, we were all sitting at a red light, just looking at this green turn signal light up ahead that nobody could go through. It was like stupid. No problem, Sana. You'll learn something new about this game every day. Like I do too. It's crazy. There's so much going on in this game. That's why when people come in and call it like Candy Crush or like what's this match 3 game, that's why I always say no, it's an RPG. Like it's deeper than you think. Supernova says, I know it sounds like conspiracy nonsense, but it's true. Gar says I do it just for the extra turn. Nah, you should. Unless you're frozen. If you're frozen, you're not going to get an extra turn. If you're not frozen, you should always take the extra turns. Like, who cares about the mana surge? Because you're going to get another turn, and then you can get a mana surge. Like, you're going to get more mana if you take extra turn. Guild gives a bunch of mastery. I get around 60% surge. That's what I thought. Something like that. And the higher level you get and the better guild you get in, the higher that mana surge chance gets. It's another good reason to be in a guild. I don't mention it because I'm not like 100% sure about mana surge and mana and blah blah blah. So I try not to talk about it as much. But since somebody asked, I'm explaining as much as I can. I drive too fast. I hit every light. Mrs. Senny don't let me drive too fast. She yells at me. Stop going through. Ah! Lavar says I get 65% mana surge. Yeah, mine's got to be 60-something then. Click on your masteries under your character profile. If I get 4 or more, it cleanses my troops. Yeah, that's another reason to do that. Yep. Alright, anyway, let's do this a low-level team. So we have to use things that are not legendary or mythic. I might just do the All-Seeing Eye troops again. I know it's kind of like a freaking raid event all over again. I kind of like this, though. I like Ocularin. And it uses blue for that Screaming Tome. This makes blue and purple. So purple for Thrall, blue for Ocularin. Ocularin at least hits 2 enemies and can potentially get an extra turn. Like, that's better than, like, a single target, one-shot troop that you have to cast 4 times. I'd rather cast this twice, get an extra turn, it's still my turn, and then I can do something else. I can potentially kill, like, 3 enemies instead of, like, 1. Blue. You can either do Ocularin or... I would say if you're low level, it's Ocularin or Sister of Nightmares. If you're hitting, at least you're hitting 2 enemies. And this thing has a 75% start. So she's going to get up quickly and then fire off a little double shot. And then you can get her back up and do it again. I don't know if she's good for this one or not, but... because she's going to be super blocked. Green and purple, like Thrall's purple and the Screaming Tome is green, Ocularin's green. Like, you either got to either pick Ocularin or Sister of Nightmares. You can't do both. Might do double Ocularin. I don't know. It's a low-level team. Maybe you do this. Get your Thrall back. Or this. A little explosion and drain their mana. We do have 2 damage dealers. Maybe we do that. Might even do it like that. Now, these 3 are all doing mana generation, right? This thing does damage. This thing does damage. This thing will steal their attack so you're not dying to skulls, and it has a 50% start. I'm gonna go with this for the low-level team, I guess. We still have to be Plague Lord. We're all from Darkstone still, because that's the restriction. We got a bunch of green. I hit the freaking cancel button. Green and probably purple. Let's get the roll up. Man, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, so we got green, yellow, purple, red, blue. We're missing brown. If that's possible, nope, it's not possible. So maybe we say this. Huh. Guess we go here. That's a warband one. If you don't have it, do maybe Ocularin, or you can just do green, green purple. I feel bad picking a warband banner for a beginner team, but it's not the most important thing about the team. All right, let's see if let's put a chapter in. Actually do it this time. Low level UNDERSPIRE 121:45. All right, here's the low level team. This means you don't have Magnus, you don't have Possessed King, you don't have Nebula, and you're just trying to do what you can do. Get up your tome. Make a bunch of blue and purple. This thing changes brown to green. So you kind of want that before you cast it, but you don't have to. Especially early, you just want to kill stuff. Early on, we're just trying to kill stuff, so we don't really need to have the conversion. Let's just cast it. Get up Thrall. Cast Thrall. Go again. So I had a high-level team. I had a mid-level team. This is like super restricting ourselves to help beginners. Anita's here! Good to see ya. If anybody has any questions, now would be the time, because we're getting close to the end of the stream. We're on our last team. We might go to PvP real quick and over-explain it again, if you want. The changes. I mean, we can go look at them. But I'm here for you. You guys let me know. If you're watching after the fact, leave a comment. I'm still here for you. It's just it's better if you come to the stream, because then I can answer your question immediately, and I don't have to, like, go looking for it. It just takes longer if you ask it after the fact. And I'm, 75% chance I get around to it anyway, I could miss it. I could see it and forget to respond. I could not respond for 3 weeks. You never know with the comments. I do appreciate them, though, and I try. It's just like the live streams are better. Because I see a question, I answer the question, it's over. In real time. Alright, let's go through this door, and then we're done with this team. I got my first dragon today, that's nice. I'm still not doing the UNDERSPIRE. I want to get up to 10k gems again before I start. And then I will, 100%. I'll be doing it all the way to 7. Starting, I just want to get back up to 10k gems. It's just my own little thing. You guys don't have to do that. Everybody has their own little things they do with the game. See how that gets right back up too? It hits 2 enemies, fills itself right back up. You're ready to go to shoot two enemies again. Alright, I want to do this battle too, so I know where I'm at. Make sure I'm through the door. Crimson Fury, good to see ya. I saw you either send me a comment or tip me on Discord. I hope I responded. Sometimes perfect example of where I might have seen it and not said something back. It's not because I didn't want to. And I think I did, though. I think I said what's up to you. Alright, we can use this guy finally. Little explosion. Some mana. Draining their attack, so they have no... If they hit me with skulls right now, they do 0 damage. That's cool, because it hits the submerged. I guess you could put the leech up higher because it's taking... I think it's gaining attack, right? Maybe move Thrall down. You see how I use a team and I don't totally... Like, I'll make tweaks to it, especially beginner teams. Like, I have more experience with the higher level troops lately. But, like with this, it steals attack, so it's gaining attack. So it's going to hit really hard with skulls. So you might want to move it, like, here. Just in case, like, maybe this dies, and now you got a big, giant leech hitting him hard with skulls. To, you know, help you get back into the fight. But I figured it out before I showed the team code, so... Adam with the gifted, thank you so much. You're a legend. Oh, yeah. Running out there to help Sana and Chad. They were fumble farting around with it, not because, you know, they're trying. We got to get, you know, they're trying. But it's just more than a two-man, two-woman, two-person job. So, Adam, you had to run out there and help them out. You brought the manual with you. You got the manual open. You put on your spectacles. You're reading it. You're using a magnifying glass, too. You got a telescope. You know, you're telling them exactly what to do. They're doing it, and bang, you fire it up. Appreciate it. Girl power today. Oh, yeah. Remember when Tesla and Holy Saint Astra went to the club? It was girl power. Jar of Eyes available in the faction shop today. I think I said that. But it definitely deserves another shout out. Because that's a good weapon and you should have it. Jar of Eyes. You might not use it like... I feel like when Osha's Tome came into the game, some people started using that instead of Jar of Eyes. And then when the Wand came into the game, it kind of pushed Jar of Eyes down even further. But it's one of the only ways... good ways to get like a blue storm. And then you have a summon too. Like the Osha's Tome, no summon. Jar of Eyes has summon and ice storm. So if you need an ice storm and you think you might need a summon, Jar of Eyes. If you just want the... if you don't need the summon, maybe Osha's Tome. And it kind of depends what colors. Like Osha's Tome is yellow and blue, and then Jar of Eyes is like green and blue, I think. So it depends. They have their own... they have their situations, but... Osha's Tome kind of like is that guy that comes in and takes yeah. Took some of Jar of Eyes' hours. Jar of Eyes was working like 40 hours a week, and then here comes Osha's Tome, and now Jar of Eyes is only working 30 hours a week, and Osha's Tome is working 50. And then here comes the Wand, and now both of them, like Osha's Tome, got the taste of the medicine, you know. Now Jar of Eyes is only working 20 hours a week, Osha's Tome's working 30, and Wand of Stars is the one working 50. The new guy came in, and they fall in love with the new guy. He came from that place that they really love, and they want to be just like, and they're the Frosted Flakes of it. The Frosted Fakes. We got to be just like them. And if somebody comes from there, they're automatically better than everybody here. If you come from Kmart, this is Walmart. But if you come from Kmart, you're automatically the best. And you're better than everybody else. Even though this guy's been working at Walmart for 5 years and he knows everything, the ins and outs of everything at Walmart. The guy that come from Kmart, we want to be Kmart. We are Walmart, but we want to be Kmart. You know, we even have the Mart in our name. We're Martin it up. So if you used to work at Kmart, you're automatically way smarter and way better, even though I don't even know you. You're brand new. You only been working here for 2 weeks. You're way better than that guy that's been working at Walmart for 5 years and super loyal and knows all the ins and outs of Walmart. Because that guy worked at Kmart. And that's who we want to be. It's the Mart. You know, the Mart. We're Mart. You're Mart. You're not Mart. You've been here 5 years. You're not Mart. That guy was at Kmart. He's Mart. You're not Mart. You're stupid for working here for 5 years. That's what we really think. I'm your boss, and you've been working here for 5 years doing, and you know all the ins and outs. You've been here, you're working overtime, you do everything I say, but I think you're not smart because you're stupid for working here for 5 years like an idiot, because this place sucks. We want to be like Kmart. That's why we have the Mart in the name. So if anybody comes from Kmart, they used to work there, even if they got fired, even if, doesn't matter. They used to work at Kmart, and we want to be Kmart. We are the copycat of them. So everything from them is amazing, and their poop don't stink. So if some guy gets fired from Kmart, he's automatically better than somebody that's working at Walmart for 5 years. Because we want to be Kmart. So everything that place touches is gold. Even if he got fired from there. Anita with the gifted. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah? Running out there. Well, turning up the Taylor Swift. Bumping that. Shake It Off. Wonderland. 22. So we're pretty much done for the day. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We can go to PvP and discuss it real quick if you want. There's a little update for PvP. Just a tiny, tiny update. They just made it the way it's supposed to be. It's not anything new. You're not, like, no new resources, no new game mode. They just fixed it. It's like fixing a pothole in the street. That's what they did. They call it a up. It's not. They don't even call it an update, I don't think. It's just like they did a sneaky little... Maybe they put a post on the forum. But now, if you go to, let's say, red, and you fight the enemy's teams, you're going to see actual people's offensive teams here. Previously, you would just see 5 random red troops. So it'd be like Angry Mob and Huntmaster Arboreus and, whatever else. Ferocity and Harpy Mage. It'd be some weird red team. Because they're just randomly filling in. And now it's actual people's real red team. So instead, you're going to see Wand of Stars, Tesla, Takshaka with Stellaryx, Zul'Goth. You're going to see all the good red troops now, instead of, like, random ones. You're Harpy Mage with Ferocity. Yeah? That's what you used to have, and you could just, like, F them up, they never win. Because it's not even a real team, it's just random troops that they put in there. That's all they did. That's like it's simple. Now we're facing real teams that people are actually using for offense. It's not defensive teams, it's not like Guild Wars, not exactly. It's similar, but not exactly. Because in Guild Wars, you set your defend team to be a defend team. And here, in this, it's offense versus offense. Like, it's whoever, like, if I use a team in here, somebody else is going to have to fight it. Like, when I use this, if you're in my same, like, platform and my, if you're the same place as me, you're going to have to fight this. This is what you're going to have to fight. It's no longer going to be Ferocity and Angry Mob and Harpy Mage. So it's important you get out to a fast start. This guy's got Zul'Goth with double empowered. Like, that's almost a freaking defend team. Like, they're trying to be a sweaty wrestler here. They don't want you to want to fight them. They want to say, retreat. I don't actually want to fight you and see who's better. I just want you to retreat. I think you're still going to win 9 times out of 10. It's just going to be like you're going to lose a little bit more, and it's going to take more time. But you also get more VP. I think they fixed that too. That was the other thing. So it's not only that you're now facing people's actual offensive teams. That's not the only thing they changed. If you're a higher level player, you get more VP now. It used to be that like lower level players had an advantage because they got way more VP because they were like, level 900 fighting people that were level 1250, and like that was an advantage for the low-level player because you get way more VP for fighting somebody higher level than you or whatever. Now it's like it's more even and more fair. Like if I'm level 1500 and I fight somebody that's level 1600, like I'm gonna get a similar amount of VP as like that low-level person. So you saw the discrepancies in the leaderboard where one guy would do like 1,000 battles and have like a certain score, and another guy would do like 500 and have more points. They fixed that. It should be fixed now. It should be more fair now. That was the other thing they fixed. I think that was it. So it was like the offensive teams are now actual offensive teams from real people instead of random assortment of troops from the restriction. And then they fixed the VP thing where lower level players were getting way too much and higher level players were getting way too little. I think that's all it boils down to. I think I'm sitting here doing this, picking the lowest level battle, hoping they don't kill me. What are shiny keys for, says Yoke the Ham. Shiny keys were so much better like a couple months ago. But shiny keys are for, like, there's a certain amount of troops in the game that could become shinied. They put in an update. They put a list out of certain troops that could be shinied. When you shiny a troop, it gives it, like, it makes its mana cost lower by, like, 1 mana. There's, like, 3 levels of shininess. And you have to get a certain amount of tokens. Like, when you open shiny keys, you're getting tokens for all the possible shiny troops. Which every troop in the game is not you can't do all. Like, High King Iron Gut cannot become shiny. There's, like, a list of them. And then they put out a new one every week that can become shiny. Like, they probably have the list still on the forum somewhere of the troops they made shiny. But now it's like once a week we're getting shiny troops. And they're, like, slowly adding them into the game. But if you go and you open the shiny keys, you're going to get shiny tokens, which you need a certain amount of to get to shiny level 1, and then shiny level 2, and then shiny level 3, which is the final level. Shiny level 1 gives you like 1 mana cost less, which is nice. You know, it's great. When you'll get your mana quicker. It's always nice to not have to get as much mana for a troop, so having something on shiny level 1 is nice, if you can do it. Shiny level 2 makes their spell better by a little bit. It's different for every troop, so I can't tell you exactly what it would do. But, you know, if you get 10 attack every time you cast, maybe now you get 12 attack. If you make 6 gems on the board every time you cast, now you might make 7 or something. Just makes your spell a little bit better to be shiny level 2. Shiny level 3 will once again decrease your mana cost by 1. So it's not as good, because you already did it once, and then you got the spell thing, and then it takes so much to get to shiny level 3, and then you just get 1 mana cost off. It's not... Like, you're almost better off going to shiny level 1 or 2 instead of going all the way to 3, because, you know, maybe save your shiny keys. Like, if you have a troop and you want to get it to shiny, you want to shiny it, get it to 2 and then stop opening keys or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, shiny keys are basically that. There's a certain amount of troops that could become shiny, and when you go to shiny level 1, you get 1 less mana cost. When you go to shiny level 2, you get a little bit onto your spell, like a little more stank on it. And then shiny level 3 is another mana, 1 mana off, cost less. So if it was 12 mana to start with, you go to shiny level 1, it's now 11 mana. If you get to shiny level 3, it's going to be 10 mana to get it all the way up. It changes it. And why it was better before is because we had the journey troops that were actually good, and you wanted to get those shinied because they would take 1 less mana, they would do more gem spawn on the board, and then they're way more loopy. They were already super loopy, and then if you shiny level 3 them, they were crazy. But then they nerfed those, and now all we have is a bunch of junky troops that are shiny. Yeah, there's like nothing good that you can get shiny now. So there's like almost no reason to open keys right now, because they're going to eventually make every troop in the game shiny. I'm pretty sure that's the plan. It's just going to take forever. It's like a long-term plan. So at the moment, I think the strat is to just save your shiny keys, don't open them. Because there's no reason. Like, what are you going to get? What are you going to do? Like, you're just opening them because you're impatient. There's nothing, what are you going to do with them? You know, it might cost, like a kingdom power might ask you to shiny troops in the future or something, but right now, don't open them. Wait till they put something good in there. Right now, you're going to open the shiny keys and get a bunch of crappy... Yeah. What are you going to... Sister of Nightmares or something? I don't even know. Like, Bael. Huntmaster Arboreus or something. Like, you're going to get a bunch of crappy tokens that you're not going to want to use anyway. Yeah. So wait until they put good stuff in there. Just save your shiny keys. I don't even worry about what shiny keys do. I would just save them. And like... And I just told you what they did, but you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even really matter what they do because you probably just save them right now. But I'm glad you asked. That way I can explain it. Drager says 10k is good. Sinnycool lets you prepare. Dervisha says, I don't have all the dragons for Diamantina yet. Do you think I should abandon that and just start Stellarex because it's better anyway? Depends where you're at. Like, how many gem dragons do you have? I was going over that earlier. You know, if you got 5 gem dragons, you should probably just keep going. If you got 4, I don't know. If you got 3, I don't know. If you got 2, you should probably switch to Stellarex. If you got 1, you should probably switch to Stellarex. That's what I was saying. I'm not 100% on that. Depends how you feel about it, too. If you already opened like 1 billion gem dragon eggs, you're super invested. But you could feel the other way, like this is going nowhere, and I want to go try the other one. Like Stellarex, you can get easier. Like you're going to get the 6 dragons. Like it's going to take like 8 to 10 eggs to get Stellarex. To get Diamantina, it took me 16. And I saw other people it took 20. I don't know why it's different. It's not supposed to be, but it is. So the closer you are to Diamantina, the more likely you should keep going. The further you are away from Diamantina, the more likely you should switch to Stellarex. And that's a very good question because Diamantina's been out way longer than Stellarex, so you're more likely to have 5 of them or 4 of them. And Stellarex hasn't been out as long, but it's easier to get. So it's a tough decision for some people. I would not want to be the person with 3 or 4 gem dragons right now. And they're trying to decide what to do next. That would be hard. Because once you get Stellarex, you're not going to use Diamantina. But if you're super close to Diamantina, you might as well get it because you're going to use it until you get Stellarex. And it might be a little bit before you can get enough Dragonite to get 6 other eggs that cost more. And then more weapons. And then you got to get enough to get stuff. Like, if you're like at 0 on Stellarex, it's going to take a while. It's going to take some months. So if you're super close to Diamantina, you might as well get it. That way you can use it for those months that it's going to take to get Stellarex. So it all depends where you're at and who you are and how you feel and everything. I can't even tell you exactly. I just been saying, like, if you got 5, you should probably keep going. If you got 4 or 3, it's like up to you. If you got 2, you should probably switch to Stellarex. If you got 1, you should probably switch to Stellarex. If you have 0, you should probably start on Stellarex. Tesla says, I thought Tesla was a man with a... Tesla got that butt cut. Mike says, what class gives Blue Storm? I don't think any of them do they? That's why you always got to use like a weapon or a troop. It's kind of dumb, right? Why wouldn't a class have a Blue Storm? Like, the best class, if you want to have the best blue class, I think is a Corsair. Because it gives plus to blue. But I don't think there's any class that has a Blue Storm. I would be using it, trust me. Is there any class that has a Blue Storm? I'm pretty sure there's not. So what you do instead is you use something like Jar of Eyes or, what's the Blue Storm stuff? Like, you used to use, Skatey. You used to use Skatey, but then, like, Osha's Tome and Jar of Eyes came in. And there's something else I'm forgetting, but you can get a Blue Storm like that. Usually with troops or weapons, not with classes. It's weird. I don't even know if Frost Mage has it. Is Assassin? Hold on a sec. I gotta look out. What's up? Oh, cool. A bunch of wood. Sick. What the heck are they doing? Anyway. Always something going on. Let's run one more battle, I guess. Any more questions? Oh, I gotta check those classes. Maybe they do and I just don't use them because, for some reason. We can check, though. Does Assassin? Yeah, I think there are some that do. Why'd I equip it? Oh yeah, I remember. Icy Veil. There's some reason though. Like I usually like a storm with a 50% start. Like, you know, see how this doesn't have a 50% start? Or there's something better on the same tree, you know what I mean? Like here you can go purple or blue. I usually go purple with Assassin. If it has a blue storm, the class probably sucks, because I never use it. But, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. I just think there's better ways to get a blue storm, basically. Like, a weapon or a troop. Because then you're stuck with using Assassin with no 50% start. You're using it for the blue storm, like... So, it would be any class with the death tree. See how it's under death? So to answer your question, which I was mistaken, I guess. I remember now, though. Icy Veil, right? You could go to, just go to talent tree, and then go to death. And that'll give you all the classes that have the Assassin, Death Knight, Diabolist, Doomsayer, Necromancer, Slayer. You see here how the Icy Veil is on the same one as the 50% start? Like, would you rather have a 50% start or a Ice Storm? I almost always go with the 50% start. It's probably what I was thinking. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to ever look that up, just find it and then see what tree it's on and then search by that tree. And you can see every class that has that. Like, if we wanted to, look up, I don't know, Green Storm. I know Archer has it. Go here. It's called Forest. So every class that has the Forest tree is going to have a Green Storm. So then you can go here and say Forest. Not there. Here. Now this will show you every class that has the Green Storm. Same with like red, you know. Would it be fire? All these should have a red storm. Alright? You can just pick talent tree. If you find if you want a storm, look and see what tree it's under, and then sort by that tree, and you can see all the classes that have that storm. You love your daily comedy rants, Anita? I think I had a couple today. Xena Warrior Princess. Yeah, don't open shiny keys right now. Jeweled Golem was good. You gotta think, like, if you open shiny keys, how many Jeweled Golem tokens are you gonna get, you know? But when it came out, the troop that comes out that week, you have a higher chance of getting the tokens for that troop. So if you see a troop you really like, and it's shiny, the week it comes out, if you want to open shiny keys, you'll have a better chance at getting the tokens. Once that week passes, now it's just in with everything else. You guys still haven't got that true mythic yet, Crimson? They took the cheese out of PvP. Dr. Mops is here. Yeah, I can't believe I said that no class has a blue storm. That was a brain fart. Mike says, has Cinny got a PvP guide? I've not bothered with PvP since the update. I have no idea how to begin, though. Might be better. As far as PvP goes, I usually just do the bare minimum. So, just go to your goals. Go farm some VP. So, go to a restriction you like. And just do it over and over and over. Like, right now I'm doing red because I can do the Talkaka. Maybe you do purple because you have Thrall and Leprechaun and your best damage source and wand or something. Like, find one that you like and just keep doing it. Maybe even fight the easiest battle and just farm VP. You know, you'll get the Valhawks. You can take those to a Monolith and then get some stats for that same team that you're using. And then you'll get VP talismans, which you can apply to your battle and then get double the VP. You can take those to the Blood Frenzy if you want. If you go to the Blood Frenzy, you get double VP, double silver marks. But it's harder. And it's like only in 2 restrictions, and you have to, like, oh no, it's in that restriction, you know, it's in Urska or something. You're like, ah. So it's harder and it's in a crappy restriction. So some days you're not going to want to do Blood Frenzy, but some days you will want to do it. My goal every week in PvP is just to get to 5,700, to get it done. You know, some people actually go for the leaderboards and stuff. They want those gold marks, which is good because you can get books with it. It's hard to get books. And it's one way in the game that you can get books, which is nice. The silver marks are for pets. If you really want silver marks, you follow the orange diamond around. You do the 5 battles. It all depends what you want out of the VP. What do you want out of PvP? You know, it's going to be different for everybody. One person just wants to do the bare minimum. One person wants to go for the leaderboards. One person wants silver marks. One person wants gold marks. Like, it depends what you want out of it. I think in the beginning you should just start with making sure you do get all the way to the 20th goal or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like 5,700. That's a good place to start. It's kind of like doing your free torches in the uNDERSPIRE. You're just getting your goals done, doing enough just to get what they're giving you. Eventually you might go further than that. Maybe you go for leaderboards. Maybe you chase around some silver marks. But they haven't changed the pets. You know, if you've been going for silver marks this whole time, you probably already have all the pets. Dr. Mop says, I beat a Stellarix Takshaka team with your red PvP team. It's winning team 8 out of 10 times. Yeah. I switched to this one, but yeah, I showed a different red team on yesterday. Livar Sekaffa says, Guild Wars in June. They're testing it now, supposedly. Mike says, June? I got one go in my new guild, won 28 out of 30, and thought I was great. Nothing since, and yeah. I don't like Guild Wars, so I'm not excited about it. But that's cool. I used to be like that, Mike. Same PvP team versus same PvP team. Sounds like fun, right? Dr. Mop says your team summoned in Queen's Herald and she god slayed Zul'Goth. Gar says I got hella lucky, then every pull I got the dragon I needed. Sana the Warrior Princess. That sounds good. Mike says I got 12 Cosmic Dragons, been needing the last one for the last 5 openings. Oh no, you've been getting unlucky then. Everybody I've seen got it so fast. I guess it's RNG, man. I mean, that sucks, though. That's like me getting every red light. Dr. Mop says I saw an offer 2 purple deeds for 300 gems. Depends how bad you need I mean, everybody needs purple deeds, right? But if you already got one of them to 20 and you're working on if you're working on green now, maybe you don't buy that. But if you do buy it, it's fine because purple deeds everybody needs until the end of time, right? There's so many Magic Kingdoms and they all need purple deeds that you can't go wrong buying purple deeds. It all depends how many gems you got and which kingdom you're working on at the moment. At least the way I do it. So for me, if I saw purple deeds right now, I might not buy them because my gem stack, I'm not comfortable with it, and I'm working on red right now. So I already did purple. I already went to school. You got to go to school. I already went to school, you know. So I already did one purple kingdom to 20. I'm working on a different color now. If a purple offer pops up, purple deed offer pops up, I might skip it depending on how many gems I got. But you can't go wrong if you get it, because everybody needs purple deeds. So, Tie Caller, Frost Mage, Assassin. Livar says, Blue Gem Dragon has Blue Storm. Death Tree. Livewire says this 8-room delve equals less points too, so more floors. Yeah, I hate that. I guess it's more chances for Val Ravens though, right? So maybe you get through it for free. It only costs a sigil when you start the floor, the layer. Then you get you get 8 chances at a Val Raven, so you're probably more likely to get it done for free instead of having to spend 30. So it sucks, but it's also good. Yeah. It sucks because it's going to take longer, but it's good because we're probably going to get it done for free and we're not going to have to spend gems. Look on the bright side, I guess. I should tell myself that some days. But anyway, I better get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for joining me today. Livewire, Dr. Mop, Sana, Crimson Fury, Mike Sheard, Garth George, Anita, Sana, Crimson, Mike, Dragor, Livewire, Anita, Mark, Dervicious, thanks again, Adam. Thanks again, Anita. Legends. Oh, yeah. Yoke the Ham was here again. Appreciate you being here. I like those questions. Garth, Livewire. Supernova. Sana, the Warrior Princess. Beg for Mercy, J.M. Ricks. Mark, Garth, Dragor, Yoke. Sana, with the Gifted. Oh, yeah. Rain Man. Beg, Judas. Clip Bomb Chad. With the 2. Legend. Oh, yeah. Tyrion Shark was here today. We got Rich Kaufman. We got Choco. Choco Gaming. Stacy. Stacy was here. Beg, Rich, Livewire. Sana with the Gifted getting it started today. Appreciate that. Looks like Sana, Rich, and then Masked Bishop. Masked Bishop was here early. Any questions, put them at the bottom. I will come back and I'll come back around. So you still fit one more in if you want to. All right, the fan funding, keeping the doors open, the lights on. It helps a lot, especially this month where we were like under the gun, you know. Sana ran out there, butt crack a showing. No, I'm just kidding. Cape of flowing, sword of shining. Chad went out to help. Appreciate it. Sana powered up, I guess. I missed that. So, you got it done by yourself. But Adam ran out there with the manual. He had his glasses. He got his telescope. Anita put on the Shake It Off, and we were partying in the parking lot. At least. At least. I think we were welding on the fart can, too. We're probably revving it up. We might have even, like, went a little bit. I think we went somewhere today. I'm going to say... I'll make an executive decision and say we moved the train around. We did like the zoo tour. We weren't going fast, but we were going somewhere, and that's all that matters. I'll say we did the zoo tour today. On your right, you'll see a zebra. It rained yesterday, I'm sorry. You know, we taped a horn on it. It's a unicorn. On your left is a bear. That's not a dog named Bear. It's the Hillbilly Zoo. Alright, I'm out of here. Have a good one. You guys are the best. You had to buy more sigils? No way. You're kidding me. That sucks. I thought it would be like, if you had more rooms, why would you not get more Val Ravens? That just made sense in my brain. But if you had to buy more, then I'm probably going to have to buy more too. I don't know. I'll see, though. I'll let you know. Because it does depend kind of if you do the right order of the rooms and everything. You can't skip any rooms, you know. You can't lose any Val Ravens. Even though I think that still works where you get it anyway. But, you know, that might be the difference between me doing Treasure Multiplier Order and some other person not doing Treasure Multiplier Order. I'm not sure, though, so don't hold me to that. But let's see if I get it done for free. I'll let you know. I'm guessing I won't since you didn't, but let's just see. I don't know. I'm going to see I'll let you know on Discord or something, or the next live stream if I got it done or not for free. The faction event I'm talking about. Alright, so tomorrow is Wednesday. That's EverQuest Day, so no live stream. Thursday, we got the class event, Plague Lord, and then we'll do, like, a bunch of other stuff, because it's, you know, we'll wrap that up pretty quickly, and then we'll just move on to other things. So Thursday, bring your questions, and let me know what you want me to do after the class event. I don't think we're doing the chat-a-thon this weekend. I really love to put it off to the last moment, and I'm kind of tired of doing it on the Vault event, so I'm pretty sure we're doing the chat-a-thon on the last weekend of March instead of the Vault event. But, I mean, there's still time to talk me into it, but you better talk me into it pretty quick, because I like to promote it for at least a few days, up to a week. And if I put it on the last weekend of March, I'll have more time to promote it and stuff, so. And I still think it'll be a little more fun to, like, jump, like, for the people that are there. Like, Vault event sounds like it's more fun to do the chat-a-thon. But in my head, it's like, I can go do PvP, I can go do uNDERSPIRE, like, it mixes things up a bit, and I'm not just sitting there doing Ironhawks all day for 8 hours straight. I don't know, that's how I'm feeling right now, but anyway. You do it the way I do it? Dang, I'm definitely gonna fail then. Yeah, I like Plague Lord. It's in the middle. It's not bad. It's a 50% start class with the rock solid, right? So you can't go wrong with that. It's just like Titan is better. It's kind of like in Sentinel's spot. You know, Sentinel's a good class that we don't use very often because Titan's out there and, you know, Elementalist is out there and stuff. Plague Lord's kind of in the same spot that Sentinel is in. Where when are you ever going to pick Plague Lord instead of Titan? Unless you're doing it to be that kingdom or to be that typing. Yeah. Alright, y'all. Have a good day. You're the best. Like, share, subscribe. I already said that. Have a good day. Thank you so much. You're the best. Peace out. Yeah, Elementalist definitely ruined a lot of other classes. But yeah, I'll see you Thursday. If you don't watch the EverQuest, I'll see you Thursday. Probably like,